So our practical part of our project has finished, and we have done our sleepover, and we have helped with Sunshine Action to go out and get food, water, clothes, blankets. So I think we should do a little bit of reflecting on how it went.
I think it was, because obviously we can donate to charities that can do that for us, but I think having that first-hand experience of literally handing them the clothes was incredible. Because
it was like
anyone can give money to a charity, right? But really making that tangible difference of really handing them the items
you
and the
kind
food
of get to feel the experience
and seeing their faces. Like,
it was like an out-of-body experience. Like, really, like, I couldn't explain it because it was like I wouldn't have been able to experience that. I wouldn't have been able to take that with me if I hadn't gone out and done it. And it's something like not everyone has the time to do it.
I think it's different than like just giving money, because you're going to make a difference, but it's not going to be the same as really doing it.
And anyone can go online and donate money to a charity. You don't have to see the people. You don't have to feel how they are. You don't have to see how they're living. Mm-hmm. But like, it is
the fact
hard.
that we went out just like gives
it's just
a first-hand experience.
Yeah,
and I think having that backup of also having been on the streets for just that 12 hours.
It was kind of like obviously we didn't know how it was at all.
Yeah,
like,
but we had a little taster, which I think kind of like validated the fact that we could do that.
Yeah.
And I think, my respect level for homeless people has gone up so much.
Definitely.
Especially seeing their living conditions and having a slight, understanding of how they do live, even if it was just for a couple hours. Before I would feel upset for them, and I would like give them money if I could. But
we had sympathy for them.
Yeah, but I think it's just gone up so much.
And now I think our compassion, our sympathy, and our empathy has all gone up. And
skyrocketed.
It's like all of us, like, we don't have a huge experience, but we have more of an experience than the majority of people, and we will take our experiences of what we've had for a long time.
And it's definitely something we will take to heart and carry through the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
It was very heartwarming and at first it was a bit hard, like, we were all scared and kind of worried about how they would react or how they would be with us. But
how they would act towards us.
But in the end, like, we realized that they're just the same as us. But, like, none of us had ever been there before. It was a bit like,
we were in Namchang.
We're all, like, used to Hong Kong Island and, like, the city and, like, Central and Kosovo and all that, but this was a bit, like, lost for us. So already that plays into the fact that we were kind of, like, not at home. That sense was really real, because all they had were just, like, bare, so, I don't know. I feel like it was, it was hard to see them like that. Like, even if we don't know them, they are still people, and we still get that sense of empathy.
On a Monday night, we went out to donate some food and clothes and blankets to the homeless with Sunshine Action. Yeah.
And with the director of the charity, Sunny.
At first, we were all very scared, because it was in like a public park, and
we went into like a
an alleyway.
Court,
and it was quite a sketchy area. We were very scared. We were too scared to go anywhere.
We
alone.
were with like adults. Like my mom was there again, and we were with like the director, Sunny. But we were also kind of nervous because there's a bunch of like people around that we don't know, and
you don't know what they've been through, and we had all the stuff, and they knew that, so they would come up and
they were coming up, and
it was quite overwhelming.
It was a little bit kind of like
intimidating.
I don't want to say no to them because
but we can't give so much to one person
because there are so many people there.
And it was also quite disappointing when they would like come up to us, but we would have like
nothing.
They wouldn't want anything that we had. And
yeah.
It was just like,
it wasn't what they wanted.
Yeah.
Like there was a guy that really wanted pants, but we didn't have any more pants. and we only had shirts. And he was like, "No, I don't need that."
Yeah, and they all just mainly wanted water. And,
they wanted food and water. They didn't really care about clothes.
Yeah.
When I was giving out some clothes, I noticed that there were like 3 needles on the ground, and I'm assuming they were for heroin because the leader of Sunshine Action said that most of the homeless people do heroin to like escape the reality that they're in. So
we saw a lot of them were smoking, and
Yeah.
obviously they're not living in the best conditions, and that can take a really
Big toll on you.
mentally
And
as well as physically, yeah. But yeah, and we were talking to some of them, and we managed to talk to some of them, and they were saying about how they work, but they don't get any money for doing work.
So this one guy that we saw, he was extremely friendly. We'll put a photo, like we took a photo with him. He was extremely nice to us. He said his average day is like wake up, work, try to see what he can find to eat, like even if it's just like a biscuit, and then sleep. And he doesn't get paid, so it's just kind of like to keep him busy.
I think one of the best parts about the night was just seeing their faces light up when we handed them something.
I was the first one to like take something out of the box and give it to this person, and all of them were kind of still behind.
We were all quite nervous,
like getting stuff out, and I went up to this guy and I gave it to him. Like I gave him a jacket, like a fuzzy jacket, and his whole face like lit up, and I was like on the verge of crying because I was. Like,
it was very emotional.
Like this guy, this is all he has, and we're giving him.
I mean, it was a jacket, right? It was just simple. It wasn't anything. It was nice.
Yeah, it wasn't even anything we would buy.
We all have it, or like we have jackets and whatnot. But just this one thing, he just really appreciated so much and had so much love just for this one item. And
it was his look on his face that was just like wow,
precious. Yeah, it was so.
And that's something that I will honestly, I think I'll remember forever. Like his face, like it was. I can't even describe it. It was like an out of body experience.
And I think how we felt after, we felt like really good because just seeing all of their faces and just seeing them
how much
grateful
even,
they were.
The little things, like we gave one guy, I think like a shirt, and it was huge, but he still took it, and it was like we were able to help and make his life a little bit better by just giving like this one T-shirt.
The leader also mentioned, because he does this on a monthly basis, right? So he does get to know some of the homeless people, and since he's going there every month,
and he's been doing it for, I think he said
11 years.
And like he'll see some people like disappear, and he gets worried because, I mean, they don't. It's not like they're friends, but you get that connection.
If you go so much, you start to like know the people, like you recognize them. Like I'm sure if we went,
you know what they want.
We would recognize the person who we had a long conversation with 100%. We would go back to him and try to help him more. And so Sonny's been doing it for so long. He knows these people. Like obviously, as Jess said, like not well, but you do build a connection. Yeah. And he said that they just disappeared.
Yeah. And I mean,
you know where they went.
And most of the people we saw, they were, I would say, mid-30s and up, or like early 30s even and up.
So,
and those are like your prime working years if you think about it. And I think when you obviously have nothing at that point in your life, I mean, what is there to live for if you think about it? Because it's not like they can go back to school, they can't get jobs because they don't have a stable home.
And they don't even have, most of them wouldn't even have that good of an education. These people aren't dead yet, but their life
as well be.
Yeah, their life is over. They can't do anything. They're in this situation, and they're going to be in this situation for a long, long time. And I think that was kind of like another point of realization for us, like, wow, like these people, I mean, they can't help themselves because they can't do anything.
And a universal fear is death, which is probably why they didn't just, and I mean, I think most people would probably just end it, but I think they still have that slightest bit of hope, which is why they keep going, they keep trying to work every day, they try to find food
just
to
in hope
eat,
that something will change.
That there'll be something there for them. I think we also noticed that a lot of the people that we saw, especially roaming around, the homeless people roaming around, were all men.
Yeah, there were a lot of men. I didn't see that many women.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only
we spoke to one
lady. We came to a bit of
the
a conclusion that like the women stay inside like the makeshift houses, because I mean, it is quite a scary area. Like the three of us were scared walking alone, and I think they just wanted to feel safe. And
we would try to give like the homeless people like a shirt. We had a lot of white clothing.
Yeah, and they didn't want
And
that.
they didn't want it. And
'Cause
at
they would get
first
dirty.
we were kind of like, why not?
yeah,
And
when
then
you take everything you could get.
yeah, and then we kind of realized, I mean, like, they're not really entitled to take the stuff we're giving. They don't need to be, like, taking the stuff. They don't need to be grateful. And we wouldn't want to wear white, like, because especially white, like, it gets dirty easy, and then they look worse than they look worse than they already do. And it's like, of course you wouldn't want to look bad, right? You're trying to make yourself
Look as good as
presentable,
you
because
can
you
be.
always want to do that, even when you have like a lot of money. You don't want to be seen looking bad, and I'm sure it's the exact same for them.
We've all like summed it up pretty well. It was very heartwarming and very. At first, it was a bit hard. Like we were all scared and kind of worried about how they would react. We're all like used to Hong Kong Island and like the city and like Central and Colorado and all that, but this was a bit like lost for us. So
It was, yeah,
already that plays into the fact that we were kind of like not at home, and but to them as well, they're not at home. No, nowhere is home for them because they are homeless. And when we were giving out clothes and all that, that sense was really it was really real because
it was
all they
raw.
had were just like bare huts made out of wood and cardboard, and even those were barely standing still. It was hard to see them like that. Like even if we don't know them, they are still people, and we still get that sense of empathy and sympathy. So seeing them living like that in those conditions, it was very hard to experience, and imagining yourself in that position was just impossible.
So overall, we've all definitely learned a lot. I think the first thing is that homeless people are literally just like us.
Yeah.
And
And we can like associate. So
yeah, we are
I mean, at first
human, they are human,
They need just as much respect as we do.
and
Yeah.
they should never be looked past, because they are not a problem. They are something
Yeah.
that we need to
which
focus on to try and help, but they are not inconvenience to anyone or any place.
yeah, which brings us to our second thing, which is that the government doesn't help them, and they're very like unsympathetic about their problems, so they only give them a small amount of
And
money.
they see
from
them as a burden when they're really not that much different.
They don't deserve.
with the
and
right help, they would be
And I think
fundamental people in society.
after this experience, our respect level has really skyrocketed for them, and I think we've all become a lot more grateful for what we have, and I think that we're going to carry this experience for a long time.